Alrighty, everyone. Well, welcome back to Hoop to Holler, aka the B-Ball Study Hall with Dylan Walrus. What's going on, Dylan? How you doing, man?
Doing well, Wally. Good to see you. Excited to chop this up. I was saying before, like fun exercise to go through. I definitely have a slightly biased agenda, but looking forward to getting to that. And I appreciate the threads you're sporting there. We did hit
Awesome.
Wally with the dart to start out with.
There you
So
go.
good to see him getting that.
Yes,
So do you want to talk format first? We're going to talk All Stars today, right? That's what we're going to
that's
hit.
right. That's right. We're gonna do our All-Star picks.
So format. You want to open up with that?
Yeah. So they've definitely been trying some new things over the past couple, I suppose, a few years, because the old, West versus East. Just unfortunately, these players were not really bringing it, particularly on defense. When you have a game that I think that one game got to like 200,
Yeah.
199 or something like that. That's insane. So this new format, I think, is definitely worthwhile. And it's 24 total players, right? Three teams, two will be Americans, and then one international,
And
so eight,
and
eight,
we gotta
eight.
say we gotta say two will be United States born because Canada is America, as you know. So international eight, and
Yeah,
then yeah, and then
sure.
24 USA. I always get this.
All
My
right.
South American Venezuelan brother-in-law always corrects me. Hey, we're Americans too. So just doing that for our international
All
folk.
right, I can
But
dig it.
yeah,
I can dig it.
yeah.
I can
So
dig
we're
it.
gonna vote 12 and 12 East and West, and then we're gonna chop
Mhm.
that into 24 USA, eight international, and then silver has the
16.
ability.
16
Thank you.
USA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
16 USA, eight
Yeah.
international, get that 24. And then silver has the ability to appoint as needed to fill out those numbers if they don't equate perfectly.
Right.
Yes. And then I think what you're saying too is like the the ask is to play harder. There's a whole conversation to be had of will this actually matter? I tend to think it might a little bit with the international thing. Doesn't hurt to try it. But at the end of the day, like these dudes do not want to get hurt. So
Nope.
that's always on the table. And what
True.
do we expect from the All-Star game? Like we want to be entertained. You're either in or you're out at this point. I would say there's always a lot of
I agree.
complaint about it, but like you and I are hoop heads, we're probably going to tune in. I would imagine most of the U.S. will not. However, NBC is carrying it, and it is in the middle of the Winter Olympics, which is kind of cool. So if you have this is a time to get Peacock if you don't have that for the month. I think for the Winter Olympics, which I'll always tune into, and then this
Yeah.
All Star game, and then the other part, Wally, is we've got three quarters where it's going to be each team's going to play each other. So if we have A, B, and C, A versus B, A versus C, and then C versus B for those first three quarters. And then based
Right.
on win loss and point differential, the fourth quarter is the last two
Championship, if
teams.
you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we get the international guys slugging, that's where the talent is. I mean, let's be honest. There's a real call to
Definitely.
arms of USA basketball, especially the future, especially on this value of Trey being worth nothing, Ja on the trading block being worth nothing, Zion not being there, LaMelo.
Right.
Like where is the future of USA basketball? So we'll get into that a little bit too. And I hope the international dudes bring it. I think Wemby will.
Oh,
With
they
Joe,
will.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Joker's healthy. I mean, we'll see if your guy Luca ever brings it. But yeah, I think Wemby will. I think Giannis will. So yeah, we will see. Anything
Yeah.
else you want to hit on the format?
I just think I'm really hopeful for the format. I think that having the four effectively 12-minute games,
Yeah.
having the international element, the round robin, I think it's as good an attempted change as they've had, in recent years. So we shall see. We'll only be able to
Always the
really know.
optimist. Always the optimist, Wall, and I
Yeah,
appreciate that. And last year, I
no
will say
doubt.
this: they did that like a rookie team thing. And if you remember, Steph Castle was nasty in that. Like he was
Yeah,
really, really good. He's playing his tail off, and so like people didn't like it because you have all stars playing against younger dudes. And full disclosure, I'm going to have a bias agenda to get that guy in the All Star game. We'll see if we can do it. But I think all we want is some effort, and I think we will get it in the fourth quarter with the two teams that are left. There's going to be like some stakes on the like you're going to want to show out. I think, and it's smaller
yeah.
rosters. With it just eight guys, there's less subs, so
Right.
that part could be interesting too.
Yeah. All right, so let's let it rip, man. How about you go first over there? So who you
Okay,
got on
all right.
this all-star team?
Well, there's a lot. Okay, so full disclosure, here's what I did. I went down the list, and I started with got little man too. I started with I wanted to look at the team records. I think that matters. I think you have to
Sure.
be unless you're Giannis. you have to be on somewhat of a winning team, and we need to reward that at this point in the season. Otherwise, like, what are we doing, right? We've already got teams tanking. We've got a lot of funkiness going. Like, winning should matter, and so I want to reward that with all-star votes. So I'll let it rip. I'll let it rip here, and you just jump in. So let's start in the
All
East.
right.
First of all, the East is how do I put this? It is positionless as well. The East is hard to come up with all-stars as hard as the West is to fit everybody in that is deserving. Is that fair to say? Like, there's plenty of room in the East, and it's a tight crunch in the West, per the usual, I guess. So sure. Detroit's sitting at 28-10, Wally. I've got Cade in, and I've also got Jalen Duren in. I think they should get 2. They've had an incredible start to this year. Jalen Duren, statistically, he's 18-11. I think the stat that speaks loudest for him is the 5.5 plus minus. So I did go through like plus minus dudes to see who is affecting winning, and Jalen Duren was there. I've got Darth and doing it all. Okay,
I love it.
So are you? I assume you're good with Cade. What do you think about Duren? Was he on your baby?
Oh, Cade's for sure. But Duren, because I'm taking a look right now at the voting, because that's ultimately how this is going to happen. Duren's not in that top 20.
Okay, and the voting is a percentage, and then coaches and players and then media also get to make the push as well. So that's how that works as well. Okay. I think it's 25% voting. I think it's or maybe it's 50% voting, 25 players, coaches, and then media. Media might have more push at the end. I'll have to look that up, but that is a component too. So okay, so Duren, we'll put him in.
I'd be surprised if Duren gets in.
But I would just argue, I think he's deserving because he is on this team that is crushing, and they should get 2 dudes in. That's my personal bias. New York's 25-14. I've got Brunson in. I've got Cat in. I have Cat as an international player. He's got Dominican paperwork. He's at 21-11. I think Brunson's a no-brainer. I think Cat is a bubble guy. Thoughts there?
I tend to agree. I think, man, that's tough with the international bit, because that's the real tight tight team, if you will, in terms of space.
The other caveat though, Wally, is the all-stars will be selected 12 West, 12 East, and then if there's a shortage on either side, Silver then adds in to make those numbers equitable. So really, what that means is there can be an overabundance of American, USA, I should say, or international, and then he'll make the numbers equal. So there's this real gray area there with that. So does that make sense what I'm saying? So let's say we're short. Yeah. Let's say we're short one way or the other. Silver then just adds in guys that he sees fit. I assume based on kind of where the voting stuff is at, but that's another.
Well, my question would be, let's say you already got, because like here, I'll just go ahead and tell you, right? So we're talking 24 total players. So right now in the West, you got Luka. This is in terms of the fan voting.
Okay, sure.
Fan returns. Okay. Well, I mean, so you got Luka, Joker, probably not going to play. Curry, SGA, Wemby, and Denny. I can't. Avia. I'm not great with pronunciation, but that's Denny from Avia. And that dude absolutely needs to be in the All-Star game.
I will disagree, but
he's awesome. He's having an incredible
year. I'll disagree with that, but we'll get to that. Yeah, keep going.
All right. And then you got LeBron, KD, Şengün, then Reeves 11, Harden 12. So, you could take out, presumably, we shall see. We've talked about this. I would imagine though, Joker and Reeves are not making, it to actually play. And then 13, 14, you got Kawhi and AD. AD probably not playing, and then Jamal Murray at 15. I think and then Cooper Flag at 16. So, and then in the East you got Giannis.
Well, hold on. You're kind of jumping. Like, what's the point you're trying to make? Are you trying to say
the point I'm trying to make is that in terms of Cat being on the international team, I don't know if there's space for him because
he is the enigma that could be flipped. Okay, I see your point now. He could be flipped either way. I think he has USA papers and Dominican. So I think he's got the beauty there is they can flip him. But let's stay patient. Yeah. Let's stay patient. We'll do a total at the end and we'll work this out. Okay. Okay. All right.
Gotcha.
Let's stay in the East. Cat, we're saying is a maybe. Jalen Duren, it sounds like
you went Cade. So for you got Cade
and Brunson.
Detroit, Brunson, Cat, New York.
Yep, and you say maybe on
That's
Durant,
4.
and we might be maybe on Cat. We'll see on that. Okay, then I've got Boston. Boston's been a story, dude. They're 24-14. I know I'm kind of doing a check-in on where teams are, but I think that's important too. So
Okay.
JB is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He's an MVP. He's an MVP regards. He did get schooled by Wemby the other night. I will say that he got a fine for blasting the refs when he just got it handed to him one-on-one. And then this is my bias, and you can talk me out of this. I think Derek White's an all-star. He's 19. He's averaging 1.6 blocks a game from the guard position. His plus minus is 5.4, which is substantial. Derek White is my bias, but I have him as an all-star. So that's the top 3 teams in the East. I've got 2 from each team. Derek White, let's come back to. I assume you have JB though, correct?
Jaylen Brown? Absolutely.
Okay. So we're good there. Okay, then the Raptors are 24-16. I've got Scotty Barnes. There's an argument to be made that it's Brandon Ingram, but I talked pretty closely with some hardcore Raptor sports writers up there, and I asked them straight up, and they said it's Scotty. He affects all phases of the game. BI scores more points. Scotty has a better plus minus. He's 2.4. I think it's Scotty. Any argument there?
I think I think that's a fair argument. I think probably
Do you have him out?
Likely,
okay. Well, this is your baby Laker bias, but that's okay. I'll accept.
No, truly, no. Honestly, I could care less. I could care less between the two. I just think Ingram's I think essentially the bigger name.
Scotty rebounds better and plays better defense. But BI puts up like a point and a half more.
I'd rather have Scotty Barnes on my team overall.
Same.
I would.
Same. Okay.
No.
And I think that's an important distinction to make. When I'm giving you these are the guys that I like. So of course it's my personal bias. Okay, Philly's 21-16. It's Maxey. He's averaging 31 points a game. He's closet dark horse MVP, maybe 7-8 guy. Like he's all NBA, I think. Are you with me on Maxey, Tyrese?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, then we get to Cleveland. And this is where I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. Cleveland's 22-18. They've severely underperformed. I don't believe in Cleveland. I don't like Donovan Mitchell. I don't like Spider. I think he's big stats, empty production. Mobley hasn't been as good either. He's 18-9. You probably have to put one of them on the team. I'm going to lean Mobley just because I don't believe in Donovan Mitchell, but statistically he's averaging 30 points a game, so I think he gets in the All-Star nod, especially in a weak East. I'm telling on myself. I don't have Spider, but I'm sure you do, and everybody else will.
Well, the way, and we're gonna, we're of course going to finish out with, with who you think, and then we could jump to me. But
sure.
my philosophy on this is there's players who I think are worthy, and then there are players who I think are going to make it. I'm leaning more towards the latter. Because I'm taking a look right now at these.
That's reasonable.
And
I'm sure he's high. Is he top 10? Where is he at? I'm sure he's high. He's
we're talking Spider 5 in the East.
Yep. And so that's my bias. I don't agree, but that it makes sense. Okay, then we go. Then the Magic are sitting at 22-18. This one is interesting, and because I'm leaning Desmond Bane, which I think also will be an unpopular opinion, but he's played 40 games. Okay, Franz has missed a lot of games. Paolo's missed a lot of games. I think Franz is actually better than Paolo at this point statistically. But I'm giving it to Desmond Bane. He's had some game winners. The Magic are 22-18. They should be better. But if you're going to give a Magic player, I'm going Desmond Bane. I don't think that'll be a popular opinion. What do you think there? So Franz would be an international player.
Right. Yeah. No, I think Bane definitely has gotten dragged down by the team overall. I think he's definitely all-star worthy. This is a lot. There are a lot of players this year who have a good case.
Exactly. And he's also 50-40-90. I bet he doesn't make it in the end. This is my bias. I'm telling on myself, but I had him.
I agree.
Okay. And then Giannis is the only guy that I'm going to give an all-star nod that is on a perpetually losing team. And the reason is because he's plus 6.8. His on-off numbers are ridiculous. And he hasn't had a lot of games. He's had some games played issues too, but I think he's an all-star. I think that's no nonsense. He's an international ad. Any thoughts there with Giannis?
Oh, I mean, come on. He's
okay. So we're good there.
He's gonna be in.
Okay. And then we said before we started, Jalen Johnson. Atlanta also has a losing record. They're sitting just a little under 500. Jalen Johnson is the second leader in triple doubles behind Joker, 24, 8, and 10. He has the keys. I think he's an all-star. Are you good with Jalen Johnson, I assume?
Absolutely. And also, he didn't get, as much play, if you will, to start the season. I mean, the ball has significantly been put more in his hands.
With Trae Young injury.
Yeah, and of course now exactly. So no, I think Jalen Johnson should be an all-star this year, definitely.
Here's another bias that I have. I don't have him in, but he's my first guy out. Norm Powell with Miami. They're 20-19, so they have a winning record. He's averaging 24 points a game. I think Bam is the better player, but I think Norm is having like one of those years where it's kind of like give him the All-Star nod for a well-done career, and they have a winning record. But that one again is my bias a little bit. He would be first out. So if we crunch some numbers now, Wally, from those that I listed from mine, if I go Cade, Jalen, Jalen Duren, Jalen Brown, Cat, JB, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown, Derek White, Scotty, Maxey, Bane, Yanni, Jalen Johnson, and Mobley. That gives me my 12. I think Spider makes it probably. And probably I don't think Desmond Bane makes it either. So what do you have there in East, maybe to clean me up in terms of the votes and your thoughts? I know I threw a lot at you.
Take a look at this list. Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
But they don't win games. I know. You know, like he's put up stats. Let's see where they sitting at.
That's a huge part of this, though.
Yeah, they're 11-25, dude. Like, should you make an All-Star if you're 11-25?
I think there's a big difference between, you know, an All-Star player, you know, All-Star vote versus, you know, considering the ultimate, you know, individual prize of MVP. Yeah, no, I think if you're putting up monster numbers, even if you're on a losing team, you know, this is as much an entertainment product as it is, you know, competitive, if you will. No, I think Michael Porter Jr. probably makes this All-Star game.
Who do you bump then? Do you bump Desmond Bane?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
because again, like my angle is who's like what's actually plausible. And as good as Bane has played, definitely, you know, has fallen off, you know, a little bit since the beginning. He had a real hot start. And with Leon Duren, he's a great player. But like those two dudes, they're not right now even in that top 20 in the East. You know,
they might not be all
Powell is.
Yeah. And he's a name. I think some of it with the fan vote is like name recognition and what have you done historically. Like I just think like I think Detroit should be rewarded for their record and they should have 2 All-Stars. That's just my thought. But I'll probably be wrong on that.
I think your arguments are valid. I just think, you know, in reality,
I'll probably be wrong. Yeah. The other guy I want to shout out that I was trying to find a way to get him in there is Con Knippel. 19-5-4, 50-40-90 shooting percentage. The best rookie shooting that we've seen since Steph, essentially. And they're winning games. But again, probably tough.
Not enough space.
And I'll tell myself it's probably not Mobley. It probably is Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. I'll probably be wrong there. I would guess as well. So, okay. Anything else in the East you want to chop, or can we do West? And then
you got, you know, I'm looking at this list. You got Siakam right now.
Yeah, they're 8-31, dude. 8-30.
Oh, I know.
But he has put up numbers.
I know. Yeah, but I think, you know, LaMelo's there at 12. You know, BI at 11. You know, if things hold the way that they are right now, I think Siakam makes it.
Okay.
I'm with you though. I hear you.
So he would be an international player, I guess. You know, like that might be an appointment.
Possibly.
Might be an appointed player.
Well, they're taking 12 from each conference, right? So like those dudes are locked in.
Yep.
And then if you need to make up any numbers for the 2 U.S. teams or the 1 international 16 to the 8 players,
then silver points. Yep. You're getting it. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hit West, and then we'll kind of revisit the overall picture. Okay, so in West,
sure.
I'll run this down. So first of all, OKC 33-7. They should have 2. It's SGA. And I have it as Chet, 18-8. He's plus minus 9.6. All the Thunder have pretty good plus minus, and he is the second best next to SGA. Any arguments there? SGA, of course. What do you think about Chet? He could be a little bubble.
Of course, SGA. The thing about Chet is that, you know, just from a practical standpoint, he's not in that top 20. So is he an all-star caliber player? Of course he is. But like you got Lauri Markkanen right now at 18. I think this season, Lauri Markkanen's ahead of Chet in terms of being in the all-star game. And the international thing, I get it.
Yep. And this is where, I'll respectfully disagree. OKC 33-7. Utah 13-25. They shouldn't have an all-star. They're not.
They just got destroyed yesterday. I can't remember who it was, but they got blown off the floor.
And Markkanen is a nice player. If Markkanen and Chet switch roles, I mean, this is really interesting. If Markkanen is in Chet's role for OKC, he's probably putting up nice numbers, not as big of numbers, and maybe he is all-star. And Chet's probably putting up crazy numbers for Utah.
Right.
My argument, I guess. So let's come back to Chet then. San Antonio's in second, 27-12. We both have Wemby. Plus minus 8.7 for Wemby, which is really, really nice. And then my bias here, I've got Castle, 17, 5, and 7. He's plus 3.0. He's got the second best plus minus on the Spurs. They're the 2 seed right now. I think he's the future of the NBA along with Amen Thompson. I've been over this. Do you think he's an all-star? You can say no.
I think he's definitely all-star caliber, but yeah,
Fair.
like he's
it's a loaded West
at this point.
It's a loaded West. Okay.
It's loaded, man.
Then we've got Denver sitting in third, which is crazy awesome for those guys to lose Joker. And that's why I have Joker as a no-brainer. We'll talk about the injury thing in a second. But I have Jamal Murray as a first-time All-Star this year. He's plus 6.1, 25
he should make it
per game. But like there are guys with better stats than Jamal Murray, but this team is winning without Joker, which has never happened until this year. I also think that's a good shout out to the coaching that they have going there as well. Yeah. Okay, so you're in on Jamal. He'd be an international Canadian player, and Joker I think gets voted, but does he play or not? We'll come back to that. Minnesota 26-14. We both have Ant, I would assume. I think he is the best USA young player. Okay, and then your Lakers 23-13. Okay, this one's not going to make you happy, Wally. I'm here to argue that AR is your all-star. And Luka will be appointed because they'll need him. And of course, he's leading the NBA in points per game. So how can you not say he's an all-star? Wow. But I think the Lakers should only get one dude on the all-star game sitting where they're sitting at 23.
That I just heard is so timing. It's great.
It's fair. Okay,
great timing.
Luka, okay, here's my only argument I have. Yeah. Luka, of course, is 33 points per game. He's 33, 8, 9. The stats are there. But we both know the dude does not play defense. We both know that he doesn't always.
You know this is the All-Star game, right? That's kind of a theme.
I understand that. But his plus minus, Wally, is 1.0. Yeah. I'll say that again. Yeah. Luka's plus minus is 1.0. Yeah. Care to venture what AR's plus minus is?
Guessing it's better than that.
2.5. So that is winning basketball. AR is 27, 5, and 6. He's shooting better percentages than Luka across the board. By the way, Bron's plus minus -1.1. Just consider that for a second. Bron will be appointed by Silver when he does not make the All-Star game. That's what I'm going to say about the Lakers, by the way. But I don't
he's going to make it.
Because he'll get appointed. I think he'll get appointed. Look at the fan votes. Where's he sitting at?
But that's what I'm talking about here.
Where is he sitting at there right now?
Right now, 8.
Okay, so if he's not a starter, I think this is how it works. The fan votes get the starters, and then I think the other ones have to be appointed by coaches and then media, and that'll be really interesting because it's tight in the West. But let's.
So you're saying the top. So you're saying the top 5 in the West and the East, right? They're locks.
That's how I believe.
And then the rest are appointed.
So okay, well, let's table that for a second. Okay, and then Phoenix 24-15. I think they got to have an all-star. They're winning basketball. They shouldn't be. It's Booker, right? I think it's got to be Book.
Yeah.
Is Booker bubble for you, or are you in on him?
I think he's bubble, but
okay. I have him in. Okay. The Rockets are interesting, dude. 22-14, so slightly lower right now, but you know the West is so tight. You can go from 3 to 7 overnight.
Right.
KD is plus 7.3. He's got the best stats. Here's my Amen Thompson argument. Okay. He's played the most games for the Rockets, 36 games played. He's plus 6.5, which is higher than Alpi. Alpi has better stats, but he's only played 29 games. He's plus 6. I think KD is in. I want Amen Thompson to be an all-star. It's probably Alpi, another international nod. Do they get 2 guys or do they just get 1 guy? There's no way they get 3 guys. Thoughts?
They're going to get KD and Şengün. That's who's going to be.
Okay. I think you're probably right. I will say I think Amen deserves to be a Thompson. Amen deserves to be an all-star over Alpi, but that's my bias. Okay, and then the last guy is Steph. Steph's in, right? Even though they're
I think you have to think he is. I mean, right, he's third in voting right now. Yeah, he's
yep. So Steph's in. Okay, so then the guy to visit about is Denny Advia, 26, 7, and 7. But the Blazers are 19 and 21, which in the West, like they're around 500. Give him credit. He's the maybe for me. Some people might have Kawhi. Some people might even have Harden. I don't think you award the Clippers. They're sitting. Dude, where are they sitting?
15 and 23.
Yeah, I don't think they deserve an all-star. Period. You mentioned Lauri Markkanen. He's put up nice stats. I think there's too much losing there. Any West guys you want to hit, or let's do a quick tally on numbers there.
If there's anyone, because I'm not going to pretend, to be super duper locked in right now when it comes to this particular topic, full disclosure. But there is one player that I will absolutely advocate for, and that in terms of that he should be in, and that's Danny Avdia.
Okay.
That dude, I mean, right now, sure, Portland is 19-21, but
Yep.
that is largely on his back. That guy's
Okay.
been carrying that team, and yeah,
So
I think right now
if
he's
he's in,
probably the comeback player of the year. Uh-huh.
if he's in, and he probably will be, and perhaps it happens because Joker doesn't play, so he gets appointed. But let's just say, for interest sake,
Sure.
who do you bump? If he's in, who are you bumping? So we've got our locks are Steph, SGA, with me so far, Wemby,
Yeah.
Joker. We both said yes to Jamal Murray. Ant.
Yeah.
We're at 6 there, right? I'm
Yep.
sure Luka's in, right? That's 7.
Luke is in. We could go ahead and just move along.
Okay. KD's in. KD's in.
Yes.
That's 8.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You said Alpe's in. That's 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Castle in?
Probably not.
Is Chet in?
Probably not.
Okay. So Denby's 10. Is AR in?
Again, I don't think he's going to actually play. So do I think he's going to get a nod? That would be nice for him. I do, but I don't see. Again, like in terms of us talking about this, and it's such an interesting thing, right? There's so many facets to it. The way that I'm thinking about this is in terms of who's actually going to be lacing them up and playing. So I'm not factoring in like, yeah, Joker obviously is an all-star. I just don't think he's going to play. Reeves, in terms of the second fan vote at 11, I would love as a Lakers fan for him to get to nod, but one way or the other, I don't think he's actually going to play. So
Bron,
take those. Yeah. Bron's going to be in the All-Star game. That's going to happen.
How does that? But so some of the nuances, like how do they get there? Do they get appointed by Silver to even these numbers out? Do they get appointed by the media members? The media members are going to say no to Bron, dude, for the same reason you are. You're dying on the Denny Avdia hill. Denny Avdia has played better than him, and Bron, there's not going to be a spot for him. The media members are going to put Booker in, but they're going to reward winning, which the Suns have done. So if Luka is a lock, you aren't going to get another Laker. And if you are, it's going to be AR over Bron. I think.
No. Nope.
He's winning, dude, and he's putting up better numbers.
For me, this isn't a meritocratic, if you will, issue. You know what I mean? Like this.
Well, that's why Bron gets appointed by Silver. I mean, that's the argument. Because the other thing the other nuance. Where is this game being held at, Wally?
Correct. LA.
And so are they aspiring, pun intended, to put in a clipper or two? So does Kawhi get a nod? That's
a great point. With that being true,
they shouldn't.
Yeah, but you're right though. I think you're right. Kawhi is going to be in.
And Kawhi,
by virtue of the fact it's going to be in his building, so to speak.
Correct. And Kawhi has played. Man, I had this. Well, maybe I have it up here. Yeah, I don't have his games played is weak, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Can't even find it in the points per game. But he's
been on a heater though, man. He's been on a heater.
I mean, that is fair. That is, he's played 28 games. So that's better. I mean, for Kawhi standards, I guess whatever. Okay. So let's do a total. Can we kind of mark this as we go?
Do it.
Okay. Because when I totaled it, man, it got a little confusing. Well, but I had Luka and Alpi being international ads, and I have Denny as a question mark. Okay, so let's go. Okay, how do we want to do this? So we want to get our West locks or our East locks. Okay,
yeah,
West
let's do Wesley.
Okay, West locks. Steph. Okay, SGA, international. Should we tally this as we go? I've got them marked here.
I mean, that's part of it, right? It's like there's so many different facets.
They get voted and then they get boxed.
I think right now, what I'm looking at for the vote is probably going to stay the same in the West for the final tally. And right now, it's Luka, who's overall the leader in fan vote.
Okay, that's one.
Joker, Steph,
2,
SGA,
3,
and
4,
Wemby.
5.
So I think those 5 definitely. And then, like I say, I think Joker's probably not going to play. So then next up in terms of the voting is Ant. So if I had to guess right now, the 5 starters from the West are going to be Luka, Curry, SGA, Wemby, and Ant.
Okay, so those guys are all in. And then we'll have the international US split, which makes it interesting. So, like, what we need to do is just get our 12 and 12 East West, and then do our international USA,
Right.
and then we can add guys in. Does that make sense? So I think you got to
Right.
keep Joker
Yeah.
in for now. So you got to keep Joker in.
Okay. Sure.
So
Sure.
so I think where we differ, if I to think it back, where we differ is I have Chet in, you do not. Correct?
No. Yeah, I don't.
You have Braun in the 12 of the West.
Yeah.
I do not. Okay, so there's a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
We both have Steph. We both have SGA. We both have Wemby. I have Castle in. You do not. Who do you have for Castle? You've got, I guess, Alpi.
Yeah. No, definitely. Okay. Yeah. In terms of that top 12 from the West.
Yep. We
Yeah,
both have Jamal Murray, correct?
I think he should be up there. I don't know if he's gonna make it, but I think he should be.
Okay. We both have Ant. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'll tell on myself, I should have Luka, but I try to do the AR over Luka argument. I know that's ridiculous.
I mean, you and every person on the planet, could say he's not, but he's gonna be.
He's gonna be in. Okay. The big question then is I have Book in, you do not. You have Denny Avdia. Maybe that's where we're getting squeezed a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. We both have KD. Correct?
Yes.
We both have Kevin Durant. And then I have Amen, but you would have Alpi as the second Rocket.
Again, I'm going like I guess my like where I'm coming from is from realism, and when you take a look at these,
that's a great line.
I'm just saying, like it's just
makes me sound like such an idiot, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, you're not. No. What you're doing is an intellectual exercise. I appreciate it. I really do. Like
plus minus is probably not taken into account very much with All-Star voting, but I think
it's just all I know. Is that whether it's 25% or 50%, the fan vote definitely, like you said, that drives that does pick rather it picks the five. But
the media decides in the end. The media decides in the end the additions, and then silver trumps everything at the end. So let's do this. I think this would be interesting because we've kind of talked through where we might be a little bit different. Okay, let's talk which.
Well, let's do the 5 East before we move on.
Okay,
the 5 starters out of the East because we got the 5.
Cade.
Because I think Ant takes Joker's place in terms of who's actually going to play in this game. So in the East right now, in terms of the fan vote, you got Giannis, Brunson, Maxey, Cade, and Donovan Mitchell. I think that probably is what it's going to end up being. Jaylen Brown's just below Donovan Mitchell. And I would have Jaylen Brown in before Donovan Mitchell. I'm with you on that. But in terms of this vote, it's probably going to hold. Right now, it's almost like an election. You know what I mean? Right now, Donovan Mitchell's at 1,530,000 and Jaylen Brown's at 1,514,000. He could close
Donovan
that
Mitchell
gap.
Will be in, and I don't think he should be in. Of course, he should be in. Like I think Mobley, but that's wrong. That's wrong on me. Okay, so I'm with you there. Okay, what do you got next?
So I think West, Luka, Curry, SGA, Wemby, and those are going to be the 5 dudes who are going to actually be effectively the starters out of the West. And then Giannis, Brunson, Maxey, Cunningham, and Donovan. I think it's pretty certain that those are going to be the 5 starters out of the East. So now you have the balance of 14 players, right? That's really going to be the choice. In the West, I think you got to have Denny in there. I think LeBron's going to be in there for whatever, for whatever anyone thinks about it. I think he's going to be in there. KD and Şengün, I think those 2 are going to be in that West column. Reeves, man, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think ultimately he does. Harden and Kawhi. Harden, interestingly, has 125,000 more votes than Kawhi. But I think Kawhi gets put on that team because, maybe recency bias. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Jamal Murray would then have some space. I think he should make it. And then what will be very interesting is the 12th and last player right now. The person who is ahead of Devin Booker in terms of voting is one Cooper Flagg. And he's had a really good season.
Dude, they're pretty good. There's no way. I mean,
between him,
of course the fan vote would say that, but Book, there's no way, dude.
Marketing, Castle.
Dude,
I think it's probably Book. I think it's probably
Utah's 13 and 25, and Phoenix is sitting 6th at 24 and 15.
I get it. I'm with you on the validity here, but I'm just saying. I think it's between Flagg, Booker, Marketing, Jimmy Butler's there too, but I just no, I don't think
Good,
so.
great.
And Castle, I think it's probably Booker. I
Okay,
think it's probably Booker. And then
and
when
then
we move over to the East,
let me just say my disagreement there, and then I'll let you
yes,
move.
please do.
It needs to be Booker. Castle should be in. Chet should be in. Those are winning players on winning teams. And
Yeah.
and amen, I'll die on that hill. But yes, move to the East.
Yeah, but this isn't about winning though. This is about All-Star. You know what I mean?
It should matter.
There
you
is.
should get more All-Stars if you're a winning team.
I should be a millionaire over here. Scratch that, a billionaire, you know, but you know.
Based on what? On winning life?
Please, no, yeah. As my grandfather, you know, would say, a rich man is a man, you know, or person rather, who's, you know, content with what they have. And I'm certainly rich in that regard. All right. So
appreciate that, Grandpa.
Enough about me, more about these people. So thank you. Love that, man. So as far as the East, after those five, because I think those first five in the fan vote are going to be the five. You got JB, Jaylen Brown, absolutely. Cat. Almost certainly. Jalen Johnson, 100% should be in. Absolutely should be. Michael Porter Jr., I think that dude's in. And then it starts getting interesting. Siakam, Ingram, LaMelo Ball, OG. Man, I think, geez, I think, and then Scotty Barnes right after OG.
I mean, Scotty should be in.
I think Siakam and I think Siakam and Ingram are going to ultimately make it. And then between
you think Ingram
LaMelo,
over
OG,
Scotty?
and Scotty,
you think Ingram over Scotty?
I think that's ultimately what's going to happen.
No.
I would put Scotty in before. Again, I'm going with what I think is going to happen.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then, man,
who's your magic guy?
OG,
who's your magic guy? Is it Franz Paolo?
Well, they don't. This isn't baseball. They don't all have to have a player.
If you have a winning record, you should get a player.
Yeah.
If you have a losing record, you should not. Siakam should not be in over a Magic player.
That should perhaps be how it works, but that's not how it works.
It is when it will be when it comes to media. Just watch. We'll see how that plays out. There may be some nuance. The only losing player that's getting in is Giannis and maybe Denny.
I think they probably go with LaMelo. I think they do.
No,
I think they do.
Fans? The fans will. The media will not.
We'll see.
LaMelo shouldn't even be in over Khan, dude. His own Knipple is the reason they're winning games.
I'm with you, dude. You're not arguing with me right now. You're arguing with the real world. I'm trying to interpret the real world over here.
Okay. All right. So do you want to say anything else on who those should be? And then I want to do the international thing. I think that
because that's I think the interesting thing. That's what I got.
Okay. I appreciate all that. Okay. So here's the international flavor. Okay.
Yeah.
So count with me as we go. Luka.
Yes.
Yanni. SGA. Wemby. Joker will get the votes. I mean, he'll be nominated. He will not. He may not. Talk about that.
Yeah.
You and I were both in on Jamal Murray. He's Canadian. Are we putting him in?
Yeah.
Okay. Alpi. Denny. There's your 8.
That's 8. And then again, I don't think Joker's playing, so that now
so
you have 7.
If Joker doesn't play, is Cat then with his Dominican Republic considered an international dude?
Fascinating.
Yep, that's why it's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it is. I think that is what happens ultimately.
That would be nice because you got more. I mean, I don't know. You got 8 to 16.
Yep. And sidebar, that international team is loaded, dude. If those guys, and this is the argument.
I'm picking them to win.
I hope Joker plays his tail off because they may want to just stick it to the USA basketball, period. Because also the talent pool with USA basketball is going to get split into 2 teams, right? You're not going to have the A-B squad. You're going to have some kind of semblance of both. I don't know how they're going to split that up. It's, positionless. So interesting in itself. I
think the international team is going to win.
I hope Joker plays. I hope Joker plays and he plays his tail off.
I just don't see it.
I hope he does.
You want to talk about winning basketball over here? That guy is going to want to devote his all to his team. If he was 100%, obviously he's playing.
Maybe, or there's a part within each of these international dudes that says, "Pardon my French, but F the USA, these Olympics, all these years, and let's pool our talent together and let's go get it." I mean, if Giannis calls Joker, shoots him a text, or if Wemby says, "Hey, we need you, let's get this," he may get it. The other international dude that might be on the precipice is Franz. That's the other dude. Like if they need another
low down
push.
there. Yeah. No, I think they would put Siakam in over him.
with the fan vote. Yeah, fair, perhaps. All right, anything you want
Just
to
think
wrap
they
on
would.
this? We'll have to do a revisit as it gets released.
Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely have to do a revisit. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Like I say,
Same.
I'm not going to pretend like I'm super duper locked in on it. Um, but I am fascinated by the U.S. international dynamic, and it's going to be interesting to see how competitive it is.
Yeah.
That's my hope, and I think, of course, is the NBA hope, and should be all NBA basketball fans' hope is that this is going to be a competitive product compared to what has happened in the past few years. Because I'm sorry, like you look at what happened, the crossover to football and the NFL, they literally do
Yeah.
not have a
Yep.
quote unquote all-star game anymore,
Yeah.
right? And understandable.
We went to the Pro Bowl live in Hawaii, and it was a joke even then in
You know what I mean?
2013. But yeah, I'm with you. I hope for competitive, and that's why I hope
Yeah,
these internationals want to play and they get after it
me
and they
too.
and they stick it. I kind of hope to see that, and maybe
The
that's what
dudes on
lights
the
a fire.
margins are going to be interesting. That's what's going to be very
Yep.
cool for us to revisit this, to
Yep.
see ultimately, outside of those top 10, the locks from the fan vote, who's going to make it. I really think Denny needs to be in there, especially, with the international element. And I really hope Jalen Johnson, I guess, if I were to take one player from the West, one player from the East, where it's like
Jalen
that
Johnson,
dude
Denny.
with this season needs to be in the West, it would be Denny Avdia. And in the East, it would be Jalen Johnson.
I think those are fair. I would push back if Booker gets bumped for him, but we'll see how it plays out. The other thing is, I think in 2 days the starters get released. I think we'll see that based on the fan.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Then I think it goes into coaches and media to put players in. So let's see how it plays out. Will be interesting.
Alrighty, man. Well, it was a great conversation. You were carrying me today. I appreciate that.
I was very biased. I was very biased. I have AR. I have AR over the Dawn, and I have Mobley over Spider. So those are my big time bias. But I want to see Castle, and I want to see Amen Thompson, and I want to see Derek White in the All-Star game, and it probably won't happen. But
you're just always thinking outside of the box on those great points, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, man. You too, man. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Later.